What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are going to be discussing what would happen if Order 66 went to voicemail. First off, we have to start with smartphones actually being in the Star Wars timeline. And let's say they've been there for maybe like 100 years. It's pretty new technology still, but they've also invented Instagram. A lot of them have been doom scrolling, posting on their stories. Anakin posted himself on Mustafar. Ugh. Obi-Wan found him there too. Because you know why? They're Instagram mutuals. Ki-Adi-Mundi tries to take a selfie of his face, and it's just a picture of his forehead. Because he can't fit his whole face in the frame. Anyways, if Order 66 went to the voicemail, first of all, Yoda just doom scrolls all day. He doesn't actually pay attention. He just sits in his little chair, and all he does is doom scroll. That is literally all Yoda is going to be doing in this version of the timeline. Because their brains have been rotted just like humans. But anyways, Darth Sidious doesn't actually send it on a hologram. He doesn't send Order 66 on a hologram. He sends it through all the clones' smartphones, which is also a very bad idea. But he sends it through all their smartphones. And all the planets that they're on don't have Wi-Fi. It's just Coruscant, pretty much. Or wherever. Sorry if I'm wrong. I haven't watched it in a bit. Wherever they are, that's the only place that's got internet. Like, wherever the blue lady, I forgot her name. Wherever the blue lady was, that way, Felucia don't got internet. Heck, nowhere. Kashyyyk don't got internet. They're Wookiees. They don't got phones. It's just like the people. But they don't got internet. So, obviously, nothing's going to actually come through. But it's going to go to voicemail. When he says, execute Order 66. It's not coming through to like a single one except the guys on Coruscant. So, those will go through. If there's any Jedi on Coruscant, those guys will probably be executed. Realistically. But like the rest of them, they're not going to be executed. So the people on Coruscant are going to realize that they've had an order to kill the Jedi, right? But the other clones haven't received that order yet because they went to voicemail on their phones. They can't see it until they regain internet access. So they're going to figure out a way to shut them down from re-coming back to Coruscant until they take the inhibitor chips out of their brains. Now, once most of the clones have the inhibitor chips out of their brains, instead of it being like 2v2, 2 Sith, 2 Jedi throughout the entire next original trilogy, excuse me, it's going to be like still 8,000 v2. Darth Vader can do a hell of a lot of hunting, but he doesn't stand a chance if he gets surrounded by like 100 Jedi just swooping it all at one time. He's cooked. You still have all of the clones, besides the ones who were probably killed on Coruscant because their inhibitor chips wouldn't turn off. Because they took all of their inhibitor chips out on the other planets, like Felucia, Kashyyyk, all of those and the above. Ki-Adi-Mundi is also still alive, so he can still keep posting pictures of his giant forehead on his story. But anyways, Darth Vader is recruiting his stormtroopers, right? Because he doesn't really use the clones, he uses the stormtroopers because those are all volunteers. And I'm pretty sure there was like 1 trillion or something of those across the galaxy. So the clones still are severely outnumbered here because Kamino does eventually get shut down at some point. Yeah, they shut it down, right? Because So Darth Vader finds some way to shut down Kamino anyways. There's no more production of the clones. But they are still going to be able to like fight the stormtroopers, and these clones are much highly trained, way more highly trained. But the clones aren't going to last very long because with their rapid aging, they're not going to make it 50 more years in this galactic war. I don't even know if it lasts that long. I don't know the timeline, but they're not going to make it that long. They're going to get old at some point, so they got to take out as many of these stormtroopers as they can while they're trained and efficient, and they can actually hit a shot with their blaster. Goodness. But, anyways, if it's still with the voicemail, Darth Sidious and Darth Vader still have their temple. He still has his temple in Mustafar, which is in the VR game, which is kind of strange. Why do I have to pay for it 3 times? Just give me the full game 1. Anyways, they're gonna be in their own little temple, the little stormtroopers. And then Obi-Wan Kenobi isn't gonna die to him because he's smart this time, and he's got like 8,000 other Jedi, and he's got Yoda who went to Dagobah to doom scroll by himself. Couch potato Yoda. He even brought his. What if Yoda literally took a seat? He takes a seat and he sits down on Mustafar. Luke goes out to seek him because Obi-Wan Kenobi says, "I can't train you enough anymore." So he says, "Go find Grandmaster Yoda," and he goes and finds him. And Grandmaster Yoda is just sitting there in a chair, doom scrolling. Don't know how he has Wi-Fi in Dagobah. He must have cellular data or something like that. You still have a crap ton of Jedi. You only have 2 Sith. You have all the Inquisitors though. So Darth Vader and Darth Sidious are going to extremely work on hunting down as many of these Jedi as they can before they finally decide to like bum rush their temple and pretty much just like annihilate them totally, completely. So the Inquisitors go and hunt out all the weak Jedi. There's a lot of weak Jedi, especially the ones who aren't in there. Anakin probably still took down the Jedi Temple. For the video's sake, we're going to keep that in there. He probably took down the entire, thing. Grogu's still alive somehow, but Grogu's honestly kind of pointless to the plot. We don't really need Grogu at all. So after this, maybe after the hunt, maybe you've got, 250 Jedi left, because a lot of those Jedi are really weak Jedi. And I guess the Inquisitors are somewhat good because they kill a lot of Jedi, I guess. Maybe say we had 3,000 Jedi, and we're down to 1,000 Jedi. We got 1,000 Jedi. So they built the Death Star, and then you see 1,000 Jedi cruisers just flying in from hyperspace. You're cooked. I think at that point you turn your tractor beam off. They're probably going to blow up that thing. They're probably going to blow it up. So I don't know how Sidious escapes that situation. But Vader gets out in his little TIE fighter thing. What are you doing against I know he's the best pilot in the galaxy. He's the strongest with the Force. He's maybe taken out 20 ships max. If you got all of them firing at you at once, they're probably going to take out some of each other, which is that. Actually, that is where he has the advantage. They're going to be taking each other out because they're all shooting at each other. So let's say he escapes there, but they eventually find his location because they follow him on Instagram. Anyways, they hunt down his location, and they just bum rush him. He force chokes maybe 40 at a time. Force chokes 40 at the other time. He throws his lightsaber like a boomerang, and it goes through another 50 Jedi. And you still got Obi-Wan Kenobi. No, Mace Windu would still be dead. So you don't got him. You got Ki-Adi-Mundi, though. So Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ki-Adi-Mundi fight Darth Vader on both sides. And Obi-Wan Kenobi's defeated Anakin before. He knows all of his moves. So he gets a left jab in his rib. Ki-Adi-Mundi stabs him from the back, slices him, and they take his helmet off, they chuck it, and they take his lightsaber, and they cut it in half. He's now in the exact same situation as Count Dooku. Anakin is ready. He is ready to end this once and for all, but he can't bring himself to end his old apprentice. So Ki-Adi-Mundi stands in the back and he chucks his lightsaber like a bow and arrow, and it goes straight through Darth Vader's heart. Straight through the chest. Straight through. And he falls to the ground. And then Obi-Wan Kenobi is both saddened and relieved that he wasn't the one who had to end his old apprentice. And then he gives Ki-Adi-Mundi a haircut by cutting off half of his head so he has a normal head. So he can, I don't know, he can wear a wig.
Dramatically, from short to long. Do you wear wigs?
No, I do not.